Hello everyone, I am Shivodi Banerjee, a second year PGDM student at IMI New Delhi. Today I and my fellow colleagues would take up the discussion regarding the unorganized food chain that is there in Chittaranjan Park in New Delhi. So before we delve into the details of the unorganized food industry in Chittaranjan Park, we will look at the details of the unorganized food sector that is predominant in India and its future market potential.
The Indian food and beverages industry is one of the most vibrant industries that has seen an unprecedented growth in the recent past and continues to expand rapidly. This can be attributed to the increased incomes, changing lifestyles, and high rates of urbanization. Also, with economic development and increased infusion of foreign capital in this sector, the Indian consumer is looking to savor their taste buds by trying different menus and cuisines on offer. With positive sentiments and expected higher consumer demand, the Indian fast food market is expected to grow to around $27.57 billion dollars by the end of the year 2020. Out of this, around 10 to 15% is organized retail, whereas the rest is unorganized retail. Also, with the introduction of the internet boom and the smartphone penetration, food apps like Zomato and Swiggy have completely changed the way Indian food lovers purchase their meal. The omnichannel presence of food joints have also pushed for food retail growth, and there is immense opportunity in this area. According to a report published by KPMG, the Indian food and beverages industry is dominated by offline or physical sales, accounting for almost 98% of the sales, and the rest is catered by the online food delivery apps. Also, according to a survey conducted, around 81% of the consumers like to consume their food as eaten, and the rest 19% tend to get it delivered or prefer takeaway. The Indian consumer has a high taste for ethnic fast foods and which is mostly available in the informal markets. Today in India, the street food trade has shed its disorganized, lower class image and is becoming a viable informal sector industry. The activity provides income for people who would otherwise be unemployed, since entering the street food business only requires a few rupees and a location. Furthermore, street foods help meet the nutritional needs of a significant portion of the population. Despite these advantages, street food vending is barely tolerated by many officials who view the activity as disorderly, untidy, and obstacle to traffic. As the Indian food industry is slowly moving towards organized retail, the burgeoning middle class and the young population of this country is moving towards better health options through organic and healthy food choices. In this scenario, it is extremely important for the unorganized food sector to slowly put forward their own value proposition and to find ways to increase their profitability and utilize their capacity to the maximum extent.
Hello all, my name is Sudato Endo. Thus far we have seen an overview of the current market scenario of the unorganized food industry in India. Now let us have a look at the social, economic and historical background of our target market where we have conducted our analysis, Chittaranjan Park, which is popularly known as CR Park. Chittaranjan Park, also known as CR Park, is an affluent neighborhood in South Delhi. It was established in the early 1960s under the name EPDP Colony or East Pakistan Displaced Persons Colony, as it was meant to be a settlement area for the East Pakistani refugees who were displaced from their homes in present-day Bangladesh, which was then known as East Pakistan. It was later renamed after the famous freedom fighter Chittaranjan Das in the 1980s. CR Park today is considered to be a posh locality in New Delhi due to the rising prices of residential properties. It is located adjacent to the high-profile residential area of Greater Kailash and the business district of Nehru Place. Despite its growing cosmopolitan nature, it remains home to a large Bengali community who have been inhabiting the area since decades. CR Park today is home to Kolkata style street food stalls and Bengali cuisine restaurants. Apart from a huge fish market and being a street food hub, the place is also home to some exemplary eateries. The area houses four big markets specializing in Bengali sweets and numerous stalls selling Calcutta style street food. Some of the Bengali specialities being served in this area are traditional chops, cutlets, kathi rolls, puchka, jhalmuri, bharetcha, and Kolkata style biryanis to name a few. The area is also home to restaurants which are famous for serving traditional North Indian and Chinese delicacies such as momos, tandoori chicken, and biryani.
Hello everyone, my name is Rodrashwa Dasgupta and I'm going to carry on this discussion further. So now that we know about the background of Chittaranjan Park in New Delhi and the various kinds of street foods which is available there, I'm going to talk about the operational aspects of these food stalls and the various strategies that they have developed over time to increase their profitability. So let's take a look.
We decided to pay the food stalls in market number 1 and 2 a visit and taste the food they offer. In doing so, we got a chance to talk to the owners of some of these stalls. One of them was a stall offering variety of delicious snacks including fish fry, mutton chop, egg devil, etc. As mentioned by the owner, we came to know that their items were of around 30 rupees on an average. For example, a mutton chop is of 30 rupees, a fish fry is of 50 rupees, whereas an egg devil is of 30 rupees. They have a daily footfall of around 450 to 500 people, which means that the average daily revenue is around 14,000 to 5,000 for the stall, which is allegedly the highest earning in the area. The overall footfall of the market number 2 is roughly estimated to be 2,500 on a weekday and around 3,000 on a weekend. Now coming to the strategies developed by these stalls, we noted that the raw materials required for operational activities were being procured from within the market itself, and the number of workers employed also depended on the market demand. Thus, all these stalls have a flexible operational regime, thereby achieving economies of scale in order to increase their profitability. Moreover, the transportation costs are very less since the raw materials do not require much traveling. The food stalls are also unique in nature. For example, there is only one stall offering sweets, one offering momos, and one offering shawarma. Thus, the competition within the market is really low and each stall caters to a particular segment of customers. This ensures that every stall gets an appropriate amount of footfall and increases their revenues accordingly.
Hello everyone, my name is Shomoprabha Mukherjee. So far, we have discussed regarding the socio-economic situation in CR Park at present and how the stores in the unorganized market is operating its business and the various strategies they are taking up to sustain their business. Now, we are going to discuss about how the various social and economic occurrences of the past few years have affected this business.
Let us discuss various economic and social factors one by one. First, it is demonetization. Demonetization is one of the biggest decisions taken by the current ruling government 3 years ago, in 2016. The unorganized sectors, especially the food sector, was largely dependent on the flow of hard cash day in and day out. This cash helped them sustain the business. But when notes were banned, these businesses were heavily dented. This fact was corroborated by the store owners themselves. Employment loss was one of the biggest ill effects of demonetization. A large number of unskilled workers lost their jobs in these markets. They had to reorganize their business in the coming years, and this led to a huge amount of cash outflow, which turned out to be detrimental to the profitability of this business. Secondly, we will talk about how cashless transactions affected this business. Apart from clearing out black money, digitalizing the economy was an important motive of demonetization. Cashless transaction is very common at present, and the youth has adapted to this form of transactions quite easily. But the informal food business is still highly dependent on the flow of hard cash, and they are still reluctant to accept digital payments like Paytm or Tez. One of the arguments that these stall owners put forward against accepting digital payments was the cost of adapting to it. These businesses are so unorganized that if they have to accept more digital payments, they will definitely need to formalize to some extent to make it possible. That is why these businesses are so reluctant to accept digital forms of payments. Thirdly, we talk about social occurrences that affect the business. As it is a market in a geographical location highly resided by the Bengali community, Bengali festivals play an important role in their business. Most important among the festivals for these businesses is Durga Puja. Huge crowds force these stalls to reorganize themselves, plan new capacity, and hire new workers for the span of those 5 days. This is a huge investment, but they don't shy away from this because the return during this period is way above what they earn on an average.
Hi, my name is Anirudh Singh, and I would be talking about the recommendations that could be suggested to the food stall owners of CR Park so as to increase their visibility, profitability, and efficiency. I would also suggest some ways so that they can increase their customer base and retain their existing customers.
Consumers these days have become more health conscious. They prefer only those outlets which are hygienic and offer tasty food as well. So, offering tasty food only is not the single USP of the food joint. Hygiene needs to be maintained as well, which is not emphasized by the stall owners at CR Park. To create new customer base and hold on to the old ones, they need to keep an eye towards the hygiene. Secondly, the micro level stores present in CR Park selling food products can tie up with food delivery apps like Swiggy, Zomato, Foodpanda, etc. to increase their reach and visibility, which would in turn increase their profitability. It is quite possible that their revenues shoot up in case their food is appreciated by the users of the food delivery apps. For certain shops, it would be useful to increase their visibility. To do that, advertising campaigns and large order delivery for occasions could prove to be a feasible revenue stream.